A baby drowned in 1968. In January 1968, Sandra Jan's life changed forever when her 5-month-old baby, Kimberley Jackson, was stolen from her pram. Jan witnessed a teenage boy pushing a similar pram just moments before discovering her baby was missing. An hour and a half later, Kimberley was found dead in a pool of shallow water, having drowned. The events of that fateful day remain etched in Jan's memory, a haunting reminder of the tragic loss of her child. The investigation into Kimberley's disappearance and death was extensive, with authorities scouring the area for any potential suspects or clues. Despite eyewitness accounts, including Sandra Jan's description of a teenage boy pushing a similar pram, no concrete evidence was ever found to lead to a conviction. The police interviewed numerous individuals, but none of the leads panned out, and the case eventually went cold. One of the most baffling aspects of the investigation was the lack of any apparent motive for the crime, leaving detectives to speculate about the killer's intentions. As the years went by, the case remained unsolved, with many believing that the lack of concrete evidence was the primary reason for the failure to bring the perpetrator to justice. The absence of any physical evidence, combined with the limited eyewitness accounts, made it difficult for investigators to piece together the events surrounding Kimberley's disappearance and death. As a result, the case remains a haunting mystery, with many questions still unanswered. The emotional toll of the event on Sandra Jan cannot be overstated. Witnessing a teenage boy pushing a pram similar to hers, only to discover her baby was missing, is a traumatic experience that would haunt any mother. The fact that she saw the perpetrator, yet was unable to prevent the tragedy, must have filled her with a sense of guilt and helplessness. The trauma of the event had a lasting impact on her life, affecting her relationships, mental health, and overall well-being. It's reported that Sandra Jan struggled to come to terms with the loss of her child, and the fact that the case remains unsolved only added to her suffering. The image of the teenage boy pushing the pram must have been etched in her mind, a constant reminder of the horrific event that changed her life forever. The lack of closure and justice for her daughter's death only exacerbated her pain, leaving her with a lifetime of unanswered questions and unrelenting grief. Sandra Jan's experience is a heartbreaking example of the devastating consequences of such a heinous crime, and the importance of seeking justice for the victims and their families. The disappearance and death of Kimberley Jackson is a tragic case that has left a lasting impact on her family and community. To this day, the events of that fateful day in 1968 remain shrouded in mystery, with many questions still unanswered. The teenage boy who was seen pushing a pram similar to Kimberley's was never found, and the motive behind the kidnapping and drowning remains unclear. As we reflect on this heartbreaking case, it is essential to acknowledge the pain and suffering that Kimberley's family has endured. We urge listeners to seek out more information on this case, to help shed light on the truth and bring closure to those affected. The truth about Kimberley's death remains a mystery that continues to haunt her family and community, a reminder that some cases may never be fully solved, leaving behind only unanswered questions and a deep sense of sorrow.